Excelling at a sport takes immense talent. But what about excelling in multiple sports? What does it take to be a multi-sport athlete?
I've played sports since I was like 7. At least that's when I started football. And it's just the people who I was hanging around. They did it, so I just tried it out. I'm 110% committed every time, every practice. I'd always like to be early to practice, always like to be the last one to leave.
Very dedicated. He's the kind of kid that comes home from a 3-hour football practice and goes out in the yard and practices some more because he didn't like how his footwork was at practice or whatever.
He's very passionate, which helps him with his success. And he loves being out there, whatever sport it is.
It never stops. There's so many games or sports or whatever where he's come off and I find out he had some kind of weird injury, like his fingernail was ripped off and he's been bleeding the whole game, or his leg went numb and he just keeps going and you would never know.
He's a very hardworking kid. Definitely believes in his dreams. I mean, he's always taking time and going outside of school and football and doing what he should be doing.
He's a leader on and off the field, and he looks out for others. Like he helps people out that don't understand what they're doing.
I think that he's a very hardworking, humble individual. Me and Ben have been playing, sports with each other and hanging out since we were 4 or 5 years old. It was great. I love playing with Ben because, Ben's my best friend.
I would describe Ben as a respectful, selfless person. He is always putting others before himself, and he always strives to be the best person he can be.
Through sports, I've made bonds and friendships like no other. Sports really just bring me, my friends together. They just make us whole. They make us a group. Definitely puts in better perspective of what I want to be like, who I want to be around.
He wants the entire team to do well. He wants the team to succeed. He wants his friends, his teammates to do well.
He just wants everybody to be the best they can be. He's always asking if everybody's okay or if somebody needs anything.
It's the team first. It's never Ben first. He doesn't care how many points he scores. He wants the team to win. He will definitely give up stats to win the game.
Well, I just try to be kind to everybody I can be respectful to all my peers, teachers, coaches. Like, you don't want to be that person picking on them just because you're good at football or baseball or basketball. Just because you're good at that doesn't mean you have the right to pick on someone who isn't as good. You shouldn't be bringing them down just because you think that makes you bigger and tougher than what you are. You don't have to be that guy always walking with his chest out. I just try to do my best on and off the field, get good grades, be a responsible young man, be confident, but not cocky.
He's not your stereotypical jock. He wants to be an overall good person. Somebody looks down, he'll go over, talk to him, see what's going on. He just reaches out. He's just that caring person.
I'm constantly having conversations with Ben about you are smart and you can be smart and be an athlete. He cares way more about friends and his family and being a good person, than he does about being that guy or being the jock. Ben is the kid that's going to stand up for you. Ben is the kid that's going to stand up for the kid that's getting picked on or the girl that's getting attacked or assaulted or picked on. Ben is the kid who's going to watch out for his friends. He's going to watch out for everybody.
Being a multi-sport athlete requires a high level of skill, leadership, determination, and commitment.
Ben has a lot of skills, and on top of his skills, he's a strong player. And he's very dedicated to the team and the hard work that he puts in. I can tell he really enjoys the game. So all those things combined just makes him a natural leader.
He leads, again, more by example. Ben's always our home run leader. And our kids respect the way he plays the game, and they respect that he has a lot of ability. Frankly, they look up to him and want to be like him.
It doesn't matter who the kid is, he was always willing to pat him on the back or pick him up, and I think that shows a good sign of a leader and just brings kids together, showing that you're all part of a team. It doesn't matter if you're the biggest, baddest kid on the field like Ben was.
He brings a lot of energy, a lot of positive energy to the team, and people pick up on that. He works very hard all the time, and it pushes others to do the same.
A lot of the times when there's something going on, he'll help calm his teammates down. He'll also get them pumped up. He does a good job of leading not only through what he says, but also by doing.
He's always positive. Every single line drill, every single drill and practice, Ben's always first, works hard, and kind of that feeds into the other kids. that hard work. For instance, pulled him out because he fell, and I said, Ben, you all right? He goes, yeah, I just landed on my tooth. It's always get back up, play hard.
I don't think that I have ever seen Ben be lazy. He goes out to win. He has characteristics that coaches can't teach kids. He just has that desire to succeed. He wants to win, and he'll do pretty much whatever needs to be done to make that happen.
He's one of those kids that listens and applies what we try to teach on a daily basis. And that's one of the things you either have or you don't have is the drive. And he has that fire to do well, no matter what it is he's playing, whether it's basketball, football, or baseball.
Never put his head down, never got angry at you or showed frustration. He would only show it in himself. But, give him a few minutes and he's back kicking butt.
He stood head and shoulders above everybody else just because of his natural God-given ability that he was blessed with. He works extremely, extremely hard. He's not one of those kids that knows he's good and just says, I don't have to practice. I don't have to put in the time and effort. He gets it. He puts in the time and effort to be the best that he can be.
He is driven in practice, and that driven is something that's innate in him. Not everyone has that. He's open to coaching, and coachability is very, very huge in football because you can't just do what you want to do. He was willing to do whatever we asked him, always willing to fill in and contribute wherever he needed to.
But this level of success comes with its tolls as well. Added pressure can affect the player's mental health and their well-being.
If I make a mistake, then I'm letting my team out. I'm hurting my team because I'm not doing what I know I can do best to my full potential. Even though I do have trust in my teammates, I feel like I still have to do my part. And even if I do my part but still mess up on something little, I feel like I'm letting them down. It makes me feel empty if that's the only thing on my mind the next day.
Since he's really hard on himself, he pushes himself a lot, and emotionally I think it's hard for him, but he doesn't really show it around others. He just tries to keep it to himself.
He kind of isolates himself sometimes from people, not for long, but just for a day. Tries to keep himself, tries to calm himself down, which some points that's good, but sometimes he needs to talk to some other people, get their opinions on it, see if he really messed up, because sometimes he gets down on himself for something that isn't really even his fault.
When they lose a game, he feels like, what did he do wrong? He doesn't look to blame someone else for the loss or whatever. He looks to see what he can do better in order to win the next game.
Ben expects perfection from himself. Anything less to Ben is unacceptable. He can put too much pressure on himself, and then he beats himself up if he makes a mistake. And a lot of people don't understand that about Ben. If they see him upset, that 99% of the time he's upset at himself. You watch the news, you watch the pressure that athletes put on themselves, college students killing themselves. I just want him to keep his head on straight and not be so hard on himself.
Sports mean everything to me. I mean, it's just wouldn't be myself if I didn't have sports. If I have a bad day at school or whatever, going to the football field with my friends, and I know just relax my mind.
It's been fun being his coach. I was never a baseball player. Don't know much about the game. It's fun being in the dugout with him. Basketball, I coached him in a rec. Again, not knowing much about it to coach any travel. But football, it was a ride. Being on the sideline was good with him. Just being on the side, it was nice, Being there, right there, to tell him what he did wrong as far as a tackle or something like that. So it was an adjustment not being on the sideline with him. But again, being in the stands is also nice too, because now I'm watching him. When I'm coaching, yes, I'm watching him, but I also have responsibilities to watch, what my guys are doing on the line. Football's been a ride. It's been nice.
I just want him to be happy. So whatever sport that means, whichever college that means, whichever road that means, if he would come to me tomorrow and say that he's done with sports and he doesn't want to play any of them ever again, I would say okay, because I just want him to be happy.
I'm going to stick with sports until I physically can't. I feel like a part of me is missing when I don't have a football, a basketball, or baseball in my hands. At the end of the day, that's the only thing I look to. Picking up that football and going to run around on the field or shooting that basketball, it's a piece of me.
Being a multi-sport athlete is not easy, but Ben Grabowski is able to succeed in everything he does. Through his hard work and determination, his kind soul and caring nature, and his passion for everything he puts his mind to.